I got a gang of wisdom, I got a gang of rhythms, I got a lot of soul. I found the pot of gold, I'm wrapping that shit up, gon' sell it to the globe. I got some game to give them, they don't really want, but they really need it. And I want you to succeed, I want you to be free, I want you to remove every obstacle from being what you truly wanna be. I truly wanna see, and I can only lead by example. So here's a sample from me, so get up.
He's the one drinking beer. I'm drinking water.
2 touchdowns a game?
Yes, in the game. You're tripping.
How you high? No,
Greatest fucking Super Bowl time.
I don't know what we're doing in the front office, man.
Twiddling our fucking dick.
Ryan, I just need you to drink this.
Wide receiver trivia. That's what she said.
Her.
Fuck.
Her upset.
Are those crutches?
You can see Ryan's crutches in the
What is going on, folks? Welcome back to your favorite show on the internet. This is After Further Review, episode 177. I am your co-host, Jalen Brown.
And I'm everybody's piece of shit co-host, Maitland Dennis. How you guys doing?
And I'm your other great co-host, Nestor.
And our special first half guest for this week's show, we've got Big Mike from the Man Cave Podcast. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, y'all? What's going on? I appreciate you having me on.
Yes, thanks for taking the time out of your evening to join us, hooligans, for this fantastic show here. For the folks that are here live, disregard that little snafu at the beginning. The point is, you can see us now, folks. Let's open up the show the best way, which is always with a nice cheers.
Right. Nestor, don't even.
Nestor has some lab tests.
Little sissy lab coat Sarasota.
Gotta be responsible.
Somebody's got to be. Is that an old fashioned you got there, Jalen?
Yes, sir.
Nice.
Damn.
Nice. I'm over here just
Okay.
taking a Buffalo Trace and drinking some Free Dive. That's all I got.
That Buffalo Traces them is good. I like Blanton's myself.
Yeah, I got Blanche too. That's harder to come by than the BT.
Folks,
You know what's
if
weird?
you
It's the other way
want
around.
yeah, you think. Folks, if you want to follow the show on Instagram and TikTok, it is always right above us right here. But if you want to listen to the audio version of the show instead of just watching live, you can click the first link down in the YouTube description below. That will take you to the audio version, and then vice versa. If you didn't know, we live stream the show every Wednesday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. So whichever one you're in, click the link down in the description below to find the opposite version. So, yeah, first off, Big Mike, again, thank you so much. If you guys want to follow his show, his TikTok is linked down in the description below as well. So be sure to give him a follow. Be sure to check out his podcast. It's great. Um, they do excellent work over there. So be sure to follow them. But let's get right into the first topic of the week here, which is going to be our NBA midseason power rankings. So we're going to each give our top 10 teams in the NBA right now, as we're, I guess, technically a little over halfway through the regular season. So we will start at number 10, and then we'll work our way to number 1.
We're just going around.
Yes.
Okay.
This is gonna be fun.
Yes. Mike, since you are our guest, we'll start with you first. Who's your number 10?
Number 10. You know, I was going back and forth with this. I'm going to give it to. I feel like I'm putting them low. I'm going to give it to the Pacers. You know, they made some moves. I love Halliburton. He's one of my favorite NBA players right now. The way he does it, everybody's like, "Oh, well, he can only do this." Well, the thing, dude can get you 20 and 20. I mean, that's 20 points, 20 assists, and I love that about a player.
Okay. I will just go real quick. I also have Indiana at number 10 solely because of Tyrese Halliburton. He will keep them in games. So hopefully Siakam can continue to develop in Indiana and help give them some much needed offense at times. So putting Indiana at 10, more so optimism than reality though. So yeah. Nestor.
Okay. Number 10 for me, Golden State. Just
This
because I
is,
feel they're the team that they just ramp up towards the end of the season. And then the younger teams that we think are hot, they tend to go cold. So, yeah, Golden State.
all right. Malin.
All right. I'm gonna go Oklahoma City Thunder at number 10. Why am I going number 10? That's why they stole my Sonics. But I gotta put them in the top 10 somewhere. So they're going there. SGA, he is a baller. I do think it's funny that he did his own like all-time NBA 2K lineup, left out LeBron James. That was mean. I think he had Shaq, Jordan, Allen Iverson, and Kobe, which you can't really argue it, but I'm just like, damn, dude. So yeah, Oklahoma. Like, apparently that bomb wasn't big enough all them years ago. That city, I like them.
All right. Number 9. Mike, you can go ahead.
I'm gonna go with the Mavs. And with Luca and Kyrie, again, I think they're finally starting to put it together a little bit more. I mean, they had a rough night last night, but still, they were there at the end. Just 60-foot shot just killed them. But I think they're finally getting it together, and I think they'll be a force once the playoffs really calm down.
For number 9, I've got the New York Knicks. Right now, Jalen Brunson is having an outstanding year. I think he's carrying that team. Once Randall is back in the mix, I think the Knicks will be a solid playoff team this year. Kind of an underrated team right now. Just a matter of how far can Brunson take them, because that's the engine of that team. So, yeah, Knicks at number 9 for me. Nestor.
I mean, you guys are going to hate this list. Number 9, I got the Lakers. Same reason Golden State was number 10. You're going to hate it, but it's the truth. Just wait till postseason.
Nestor's list is from 2023.
It's from the bubble right now. Is what it's from.
As long as Anthony Davis doesn't wipe his ass and get hurt, I guess you'd be all right.
Yeah, he's gonna wipe it with his unibrow. Fucking squeegee head.
Go ahead, Malin.
I gotta agree with the Knicks being one of those teams, but I'm actually gonna go with the Clippers at 9. And the reason why I'm gonna go with the Clippers, first of all, great job with the rebrand that they're gonna roll out next year. I don't know if you guys saw those uniforms.
Yeah.
Really clean, love it. My concern is the health. Can they stay healthy? So I would love to put them at like a 7 or something like that. But I gotta put them at 9. I'm worried about the health. And Leonard also has that goofy ass laugh of his, and you got to go down a spot just because of that laugh. I'm gonna go ahead and put the Clippers there at 9.
All right, Mike, give us number 8.
I'm gonna put the Knicks at 8. I mean, Brunson is doing his thing this year. He's balling out. The problem is can the rest of the team come together and have his back? I mean, they're 3-7 in their last 10, I believe. So they're starting to hit that. They don't know. They got to get their identity and get it back before they head into these playoffs. Otherwise, it's going to be a rough ride for them.
At number 8 for me, I have Phoenix because if, like Nestor's logic, I'm using once they get to the playoffs, those guys know what they're doing. It's just a matter of getting there and getting there healthy. I think Booker will heat up. Durant will always heat up. So as long as they're healthy, can kind of just stay right in the playoff mix and not get too far back due to whatever. Um, yeah, I think Phoenix will be that team that we thought they would be when they first got Kevin Durant. So yeah, Phoenix is my number 8. Nestor.
My number 8. This team is very well coached, and their star fires up like nobody else in playoffs. So give me the Miami Heat at number 8.
I told you this is a bubble. This is a bubble list. Gotta have the Clippers 1, baby.
Go ahead, Malin.
This might be a little bit of a surprise, but it's something that I've just been following over the last like week and a half. I'm actually gonna go with New Orleans right now. If I'm going right now at the midseason point, they've been 7-3 their last 10 games. They're they're losing right now to Indiana. And I don't even understand Indiana's jerseys. I'm looking at it right now. It's like a broken highlighter just blew up. But no, New Orleans is their starting five lineup for the first time since the beginning of November. They're playing well. Williams isn't hurt yet. And so I'm gonna go ahead and put them right there at 8 because if New Orleans is a 5 seed at any point after the All Star break, you got to give them a little bit of shine. Got to give them a little bit. I'm gonna go and put them up there.
Fair enough. Number 7. Go ahead, Mike.
I'm going to put the Suns. I'm gonna go for the reasons again. If they're healthy and they're playing like they should be playing, they're a powerful team. And, KD in the playoffs is a whole nother specimen. The dude knows what he's doing. And hopefully, again, the team's healthy and they can get rolling in the right direction. Otherwise, they're one injury away from being nothing.
Nestor.
Same thing. Phoenix Suns.
I just skipped myself there. Just realized that I have the Bucks at number 7.
Mm.
They should be higher, but I don't like their coach. So simple as that. Go ahead, Malin.
Isn't it weird how you and I hate on the last coach that brought the Celtics the championship as much as you and I do? But damn, it's because we should have won more. I'm going with the Knicks at 7. I know they're 3-7 in the last 10. That's kind of ugly. But Brunson, man, one of the dumbest things Mark Cuban ever did besides actually sell the Mavs was getting rid of Brunson. Having him and Luka right now in the West would be so freaking huge. I mean, he's doing things that Carmelo Anthony could never do with with the Knicks. So I really like this team, this roster. I think that they're gonna They're going to be players in the playoffs. They're not gonna go to the Eastern Conference Finals or anything, but they're going to be players in the playoffs. So I'm gonna slide them right in there at 7.
Cool. Number 6. Go ahead, Mike.
I'm gonna take the Bucks, and like you just said, they should be probably higher due to who's on that team, where they've been, how they've done things before with Giannis, and then now you got Dame. But Doc Rivers it's like he's a cursed coach. He put that super team together in Boston, and after that, it's like everywhere he goes, just turns to trash.
Amen. For my number 6, I've got the Los Angeles Clippers. The James Harden deal has worked out. They're playing some really, really good basketball. And even though it looks like a 2K dream team from like 2015, they're working it out as currently assembled. So, with all the experience that team has, when they hit the postseason, I think they're going to be very, very good. Would not surprise me if they end up in the Western Conference Finals. So, I got the Clippers at 6. Nestor.
At 6, I got the Cavs. Donovan Mitchell and just pretty uh consistent team for the most part. I think they could do something this season. So yeah, give me the Cavs.
And Malin.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you with uh well, I'm gonna go Milwaukee. I I hate it because I had higher hopes for them. They should be like a top 4 team in the NBA right now. But Dame outside of the All-Star break has not been Dame this year. So I'm glad he was able to get a 3-point contest win and All-Star MVP like he's actually been doing something this year. Dame time is 0 time, just like his jersey number right now. The team is worse with Doc Rivers. Like I didn't think that they would be better with Doc Rivers, but I didn't think they'd be that bad
Yeah.
with Doc Rivers. I was like, damn. So yeah, they gotta be out of the top 5.
All right, fair enough. Uh, Number 5. Go ahead, Mike.
I'm gonna put the Cavs. Their young squad. Mitchell's doing crazy things. I mean, he's doing everything he can, but then he's also got everybody backing him up. Like yesterday's game, it wasn't all about Mitchell; it was all the other players adding to it. Struce in the fourth quarter, Jared Allen, Mobley, Garland starting to come back around from injury. It's a nice young team, and they're dangerous. So yeah, I got the Cavs at 5.
Yep, I also have the Cavs at number 5. Like you said, last night's game was a very good example on why they're having so much success this year, which is why I think they're slightly better than the Clippers. So go ahead, Nestor.
Number 5, I got OKC. SGA, really young team. Uh, 2 years ago, I was already just thinking about how this team was going to ramp up with the moves they were making in the roster. So happy for them. Yeah, number 5, OKC.
And Malin?
I'm going Cleveland. I agree with you two at the top there. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like, did Cleveland make the playoffs last year?
They did.
Yeah.
They did. Okay. So for them to now be the number 2 seed, now, granted, they're still way behind the Celtics, so that's cute. But for them to be the 2 seed in the East, no one thought that they were going to be the 2 seed in the East. Maybe like a 5 seed.
Mm,
So they're overachieving as far as projections from the beginning of the year. And I think that has to do with coaching. I think they just play well together. I think just a well-rounded team.
mm,
Like you said, Mitchell's playing out of his mind right now. I think they've also won 7 out of the last 3. There's a lot of teams winning 7 out of their last 3. Like what the hell? Outside of Boston going 9-1 in their last 10, but that's fine. But yeah, so let's go ahead and do Cleveland.
all right. I appreciate all of the subtle glazes that Malin gives the Celtics at a return. So keep those coming. Uh, Minnesota's my number 4. I absolutely love that team. It's Ant-Man, Cat, Gobert, Jaden Daniels. I love Minnesota. I think they are the best team to take on Denver in the playoffs because of their size. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, we got Minnesota number 4. Go ahead, Mike.
I'm gonna go with the Clippers. And to me, I think they're the most dangerous team. And it's because if they are doing what they've been doing and health is not the issue, and I don't see an issue because you have Russell Westbrook who took the back seat, said, I'm going to come from the bench. Everybody else is playing their game and doing the roles the way they're supposed to. Harden's way better than anybody thought he was going to be over there. And I think come playoff time, they're dangerous if they're healthy.
Nestor?
I got the Knicks at 4 just because I feel like um they have a lot of heart. Brunson and just last season, what they were doing, I just felt like they overachieved in my eyes, and I think they'll do great this year as well. So give me the Knicks at 4.
Okay. Malin.
All right. I should you hear me out on this. My flyer. I'm going to 76ers right now. Here's the
Wow.
reason why I'm going to 76ers. First of all, I watched them last night against Boston. That was a 2-point game going in, I think, the fourth quarter, or
Yeah.
at least with like 9 minutes left in the fourth. Maxi balled out. If you get Embiid back healthy, that's a squad that's probably going to the Eastern Conference Finals against Boston. I don't see Milwaukee or Cleveland matching up against a healthy Embiid and a Maxi out of Philly. And so that's why they're number 4 with me. I know it's a stretch. I know they're not none of y'all's top 10. I mean, Ness is too busy picking the Lakers, Golden State. Um,
Just wait.
but yeah, I got Philly in there just because if B comes back the way what Maxi showed me yesterday, but they just got to play a little bit of defense. They gave up a little bit too many points to Gotham
Yeah.
and Tatum last night. But yeah, I like Philly.
All right. Fair enough. All right. Top 3. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah. I messed up by putting the Mavs in this top 10 because I'm going to have to leave one of these teams out. I don't want to, but I'm going to put the Thunder at 3. Young team.
Big mistake.
I mean, they're playing outside their mind. Now, my problem with them is, and I almost just left them totally off this list, but I can't because of their win total right now, is the inexperience. Because once they hit the playoffs, not one of them guys have been there. No, nobody's played meaningful basketball before, so we're about to see what really happens.
I've got same thing. OKC at number 3. Uh, that roster is super young and just super talented, excited. But like you did say, when they get to the playoffs, I think it reminds me of the Kings last year, where they were just so excited and just super talented, and they got to the playoffs, faced a veteran team, and then just got shut down.
Who beat the Kings last year?
Some washed up old team. Anyway, but I think the Thunder right now, they're third best team. Go ahead, Nestor.
3, I got Minnesota because of how good they are defensively and how good they are away. Rudy Gobert is an underrated defensive player, so yeah, give me Minnesota.
And go ahead, Malin.
Nestor, first off, I don't know if you know this, but you still got stickers on your hat. Second, all right, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go Minnesota. Uh, I can't believe how well they've been playing this year. Um, I actually root for them because of the gelling that they've done, and Anthony Townsend just coming into his own and all that stuff. Outside of like like okay, see, I put them in number 10 because I hate them. But Minnesota is actually playing really good basketball. And who would have thought that Minnesota would have been the number 1 team in
Right.
in the West right now? That's insane. So yeah, Minnesota at 3.
All right, number 2. Go ahead, Mike.
You got to.
Everybody pick carefully here.
I'm gonna put the Nuggets.
Okay.
Nuggets gonna be my number 2. I mean, defending champs. They lost. They lost key piece, and they still seem to be doing their thing. They're quietly doing it too. Joke's still doing him. Murray's still doing him. But it's just no one's really ramping them up yet. But they're just right there. They're waiting.
Yeah, I've also have Denver number 2. Same exact reason. They are very slept on right now. Go ahead, Nestor.
Yeah, give me the Nuggets. Just because of the whole logic of my list, they belong in number 2. So yeah,
There's no logic to your list.
sure.
Yeah. I'm also going Denver number 2. And I kind of feel like all of us have like this reluctance to put them number 2. Like, okay, so let me ask you this. Like, do they not give you San Antonio Spurs vibes? Like,
Yes.
they're so good that they're always going to be there, but you hate the brand of basketball because it's clunky, it's ugly, you got she ass
Lullaby basketball.
Joker. Yeah, you just beat them to death. I mean, a white man being one of the best players in the league. I don't care if he's from Europe. That's not a good look. So I mean, it's just they just bore you is what they do. Like they are a boring team to watch, just like the Spurs were a boring team to watch. And so I think everyone is going to sleep on Denver going forward, and they're probably going to rip off a few rings, and everyone's going to be like, "Well, this NBA season was a goddamn wash." So I mean, well, no one celebrates when the Spurs won a chip. They celebrate when the Lakers won, when Boston won, I mean, hell, even when the Pistons won, when the Heat won, they were all celebrating. Every time the Spurs won, you know, Charles Barkley was like, "I gotta go down there to San Antonio and be around all these big ass women, eating churros." And so it's just, I don't know, man. It's just Denver is the new San Antonio. That we're just stuck with them. We can't get away from it.
It's a pretty good comparison, I gotta say. Uh, number 1, I would assume we all have Boston at 1.
One better be.
Yeah.
Actually,
Stop it, Nestor.
Yeah, I feel like Boston's like an injury away from falling apart, though. If Kristaps Porzingis gets hurt and falls apart, I think that team starts to fall.
How has Porzingis been a linchpin on any team he's ever been on? What are
No,
we
I
this is
feel
the
like he
only
kind of
team
is on this
to
one.
me that he's been linchpin. Because this is what Boston's always needed is
Right.
this. That center that can actually bring it all together. Horford was way too over it. Robert Williams was just all defense, but Porzingis can play defense. He can bring the guy all the way out to the 3-point line and shoot it in their face. So if he gets hurt, it kind of puts a hinder on them when it comes playoff time.
Well, let me go ahead and go second real quick here, dude. All right, so all rise Judge Tatum, who should be the MVP front runner right now, because he's just balling out. Let me tell you why. Even if Porzingis gets hurt before the playoffs, okay, why the Boston Celtics will still be better in the postseason is that Tatum has not had to carry this team the entire year like he's had to in years past. Even when we went to the finals a couple years ago, like he was burnt out by the time they got to the NBA finals. So Porzingis has allowed that relief, but I'm not necessarily buying that Porzingis is this.
But that's why Tatum hasn't had to, because you had Porzingis.
Well, yeah, now, but once you get to the playoffs, man, do you like? I think Porzingis' role actually diminishes once you hit the playoffs. I think, and you see that a lot in the playoffs where you go to your bigger players, and I think it's going to be more Brown and more Tatum in the playoffs. And Porzingis is going to be a good third option. Um, but I like where we're at. Definitely number 1. We should be number 1. Best team in the league. We're going to get number 18 this year. Okay.
I definitely think that Porzingis is very important. He's exactly what we were missing. A modern NBA center. Uh, I mean, even if he's for whatever reason gets hurt and comes back in the playoffs, that's all that really matters. But um, yeah, I think his role will kind of change throughout the postseason. I think our bigger problem in the past was just that we kept going to too many game sevens. It was just so much basketball
Mhm.
being played that by the time June came around, those dudes were just
Evans.
exhausted. So hopefully Porzingis can offer that same relief throughout the postseason so that a we don't need to go to so many game sevens, but b if that does happen, the workload is spread around a bit more. So yeah.
I also think the East is weaker than it's been in years past, so hopefully we
Yes.
don't have to have as many sevens as we've had. Go ahead, Nestor. You better say Boston.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
it was Boston.
okay.
I just don't think Tatum is that guy for playoffs. And I think we've seen that before. But I do hope the best for them. I'm not
No, you
a
don't.
Celtics hater, but I'd
Well,
rather have them there than the Lakers winning the championship. So
I
not that
can't.
that would happen this year. I'm just saying I'd rather have Boston being successful than you know
No,
West Coast.
Jalen, I can't hate on his take simply because my profile picture on Discord has been the back of Tatum jersey saying not him instead of his name this whole year, ever since he flamed out in
He's
the
about to
playoffs.
disagree with everything,
And he's
and then
going.
have
No,
it
I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you that he has not been that great in the playoffs. But I'm keeping it up there until we win the chip. Keeping it up there. I'm keeping the profile picture up there of Tatum with the not him. A good luck charm right now.
All right. Those are our top 10 teams right now. When we get to the community comments later, I'll read what your guys' at home top 5 NBA teams are right now. So let's move on to the next topic here, which is the news for the week. We're going to start off with the fact that the NFL has raised its salary cap from 224.8 million to 255.4 million per team. So, yeah, Mike, I listened to your guys' most recent podcast and kind of already heard a bit of your take on this, but please share here what you think about this.
Listen, it's huge. It's huge that they, went up 30 million. And this is for everybody's team because everybody's got that player they don't want to get rid of or they're worried that they're not going to have the money to keep. And this kind of gives you that relief a little bit like, all right, cool, maybe we can keep him. Or maybe we trade him and we get someone else and we can have someone better in his place. So it gives you that little bit of relief. Like, you got Browns fans over here saying, oh, we're going to cut Chubb because of money. Dude, I don't know where these ludicrous fans come from, but it drives me insane. You're going to cut Chubb for 11 million? Get just don't open your mouth again. Don't get on X. Don't get on nothing and type anything ever again. But it's huge. Going to do it again next year, so it's going to hold the Sean Watson contract, softens up a little bit, or restructuring deals, and that's going to start happening now big time. Because once that happened, immediately Andrew Berry restructured Denzel Ward's deal. Now put us in the green. Now we're good, and things can start happening for every team.
Go ahead, Nestor.
Yeah, I think overall it's a good thing. I know it helps some teams more than others. Um, it's a bit relative. So I know for the Dolphins, it's gonna give us some breathing room, um, but just not enough to do anything crazy still. So that's fine, because we need to figure out uh, our situation with Wilkins. But yeah, I think it's good for the league. Pretty good.
Malin?
All right, so I'm a big numbers guy, so I love this. Okay, so back in 1994, the San Francisco 49ers won their last Super Bowl, right? That was the last year. They were really relevant. They've gone to the chip a few times, lost because they suck. Do you guys know what the salary cap was back in 1994? 30 years ago.
Beats me.
I'll say $34 million.
Jesus.
Okay. Now let's go ahead and fast forward to 2013, the last time my Seahawks won a Super Bowl. $123 million. It is damn near doubled in 10 years, which is astronomical. But what this is going to do for some team is there's some teams that need to hang on to some players that they didn't think they were going to be able to afford. I think teams like the Chiefs, I think it's going to help them. Chris Jones, you got some wiggle room now. They just got rid of Scantling, right? So they're going to have some room to sign him, maybe bring in another wide receiver. They still got Pacheco if they're running back on his rookie deal. I think the Chiefs are probably going to benefit the most out of anybody in the NFL because of the Chris Jones deal. The Niners can also benefit from it because they got Purdy on that 7th round contract, which I freaking hate. But it going up as much as it's going, I mean, you're talking about they just said this next year, not even this past year, this next year, that who had the so Peacock had the playoff game this last year, right? So
Yes.
Amazon gets the playoff game this year. They bought the rights from Peacock for $120 million. $120 million. That is one game. One game. It just one. So these TV contracts are going insane. The salary cap is going to keep going up. I don't think it's going to keep going up as much as it is. I think this is like a big jump. I think we're having a little bit of a COVID correction because it went down during COVID, then went up a little bit, and now it's like bam. But I mean, I think that I think that teams hate it though. Teams don't like this because teams like the Chiefs, they want to be able to go back to Chris Jones and be like, ah, man, like, God, we just don't really got all that money to pay you, like all that. Can you do this? And and all these teams that are just out there to try to make money and not actually win anything are going through the same deal. But it like I don't think the teams like it, but the players love it. The NFLPA, they love it. And it's good for them. I mean, they're out there just getting fucking killed every week. Good.
Yeah, I think that, like you said, teams like the Chiefs, I think like the Bengals probably really like this. They can kind of have a little more wiggle room to figure out their receiving situation right now.
Well, they did franchise Higgins, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. They just ended up doing that
They did.
yesterday or
I
day
feel like
before.
they still trade him.
I still don't see how they're going to be able to keep him.
Right.
Chiefs just franchised Snead today too.
Yep.
Really
Mm-hmm.
interesting.
Now it's all about Jones and getting themselves a real wide receiver.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah. I do think the Peacock exclusive game was probably just the first of a few that we're gonna see. Like, it would not surprise me if maybe next year, year after, we have like a Prime exclusive playoff game, and then a Paramount Plus one or whatever comes next. But I'm sure in the next 5 years or so, each major streaming platform will have their own exclusive playoff game. But at that point, it kind of just turns right back into cable, which each TV network has their own exclusive games. So kind of
What
funny how it
really
works.
pisses me off about streaming platforms, though, man, is that I get it that all these sports they want money, but just stop making the fans have to pay $13.99 a month to be able to watch all the sports they want, like times 5. You know what I mean? Like, goddamn. And we're paying for NFL Sunday ticket,
Right.
or you're paying for the NBA channel and or the NBA package, or you're paying for the Major League Baseball package. Like, I mean, let's just stop. Like, calm down.
I
Hey,
heard
all
there was
that
a game
money's
on
coming
Disney
in.
Plus next season.
Disney Plus?
Disney Plus gets this.
Yeah, they're probably gonna make all the white players black. Fine. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that shit. You shouldn't have said that, Buster. I'm gonna get in trouble with Jalen now. God damn it.
Let's move into the next
What a bitch. I hate
next
you,
news
Lester.
here. So Eric Bieniemy said to hell with the NFL, goes to UCLA to be their new offensive coordinator, which I really don't like this, but go ahead, Mike.
I think I feel so bad for him, man. He should already have a head coaching job somewhere. Even if it doesn't work out, he should have still already got his shot. Or, God, I mean, all these teams that needed coordinators and no one wanted him. He had something to do with the whole Pat Mahomes deal, the whole Chiefs regime for so many years. You can't just say, "Oh, well, Andy Reid." Andy Reid called his plays. It was the enemy's plays and scheme that Andy Reid called. I get it had to be called in the right way, right fashion. Great, but the enemy's still a good mind. I mean, he made Sam Howell throw. He was the passing yards leader for more than half the season. You do that with someone like that? Come on now. And he's throwing at what? Scary Terry out there, and that's really it. I don't know. I hate that he had to go, especially to UCLA. I mean, God, that's horrible. Going out there and I guess they gave him that extra perk, the associate head coach, just in case something happens, and he can just move right on in, and he can actually be a head coach for once. But yeah, I hate that so much for him.
Can I go ahead and go second real quick?
Yeah.
First of all, I don't think it's him saying to hell with the NFL and going to coaching. I think the NFL has just been saying to hell with you for a lot of years. Now, some things that might be true or false. One, does Andy Reid get more credit than Eric Bieniemy when it comes to the Chiefs winning Super Bowls and Patrick Mahomes? I don't know. I mean, they just won a Super Bowl without him, with less talent than Eric Bieniemy ever had to coach with the offense. And they just had in Kansas City this year. There's been talk that he doesn't necessarily interview well. I don't know. Like, when you're interviewing, who are you interviewing with? Like, you're interviewing with a bunch of rich white guys. Let's be honest. That's
I mean, you had guys say they were scared of Mike Vrabel because of how big he was.
Yeah, because he's so tall. But what I really think it comes down to is that, and you heard this in Washington, Bieniemy is a tough son of a bitch. Is what you heard in Washington, that he coaches tough, right? But who else coaches tough? Someone like Bill Belichick. The NFL is trying to move away from that. And if they're trying to move away from an NFL great is Bill Belichick, and you know what, Jalen, I'm really sorry that I'm not trying to play race here, but I'm just saying that he's black, Belichick's white. You're trying to move away from it. No one wants to hand control over to a Belichickian type coaching regime right now in the NFL. They don't want to do it, and they damn sure don't want to do it if they're black. I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest, man. Like, they don't want to do it. The last person to do it, what the hell was his name? The coached the Raiders. And how Davis died. What the hell was his name? Hugh Jackson? Yeah, what the fuck happened to Hugh Jackson? Oh man, he tried to take some responsibility. The Raiders like, nah, fuck you, fam. And then he ended up with the Browns, and I'm sorry about that. That was really terrible.
Yeah, it was horrible. Absolutely horrible.
But I do think that Eric Bieniemy is getting shunned. But I think he got let go too late to get a coordinator spot. He got let go too late this year to get a coordinator spot or have any type of head coaching opportunity or something like that with the NFL. So I think he's going to take a 1 year with UCLA, which is not going to be good. It's not going to be fun for them going to the Big Ten. But he's going to take a 1 year hiatus. He's going to go to college football. Someone's going to want an offensive coordinator. And he's going to come back, and hopefully in the next couple of years he gets a shot. Because at the end of the day, if you were the offensive coordinator Patrick Mahomes, and you're responsible for 2 of his 3 Super Bowl wins, you deserve a head coaching opportunity. Because everybody on the Patriots got it right. Charlie Weiss got it. Josh McDaniels got it twice when he never deserved it. I mean, like, you deserve it if you have that type of criteria.
Romeo Cornell.
I hope he get Romeo. Ooh, that was bad.
It was, but he got chances.
And hey, Charlie Weiss, their head coach in, like Notre Dame. So, like,
Bill O'Brien.
everybody got their shine out of the Belichick regime, but I think the NFL teams are hesitant to give shine to the Chiefs coordinators because they saw how it worked out with Patriots coordinators. It didn't necessarily pan out. So I think that they're kind of having to live under that stigma a little bit of, well, just because you were there doesn't mean you were one of the reasons why they won. So, but I hope he gets his opportunity. Hope he does.
Yeah, I disagree with nothing that you just said. Absolutely. Nestor, any thoughts?
Yeah, the man deserves, better opportunities than going down to UCLA. But I saw an article where they said if it wasn't for Bieniemy, Sam Howell would be in the XFL. It's a little harsh on Sam.
So true.
A little harsh. But yeah,
if Eric Bieniemy was not Sam Howell's offensive coordinator, he would be the exact same as Ritter in Atlanta.
Yep.
100%.
100%. And look, I agree with you when you said they let him go too late. Because I was praying that he was going to be our OC. Because that whole thing with Deshaun Watson in Houston was all over them not giving Bieniemy a shot. When they didn't listen to him say, hey, get Bieniemy in here, talk to him, I want him as the OC, and they said no, that's when he wanted that trade. That's what started all of that. I would have loved to see what he could do here with the guy that wanted him so bad. Again, they didn't let him go until they got their own head coach, and he went in there and told him, hey, screw off.
Who is the new offensive coordinator in Cleveland?
Ken Dorsey. Came from Buffalo with all them years with Josh Allen.
Hey, Ken Dorsey tore it up in Miami, though. I mean, you got a smart mind there. You have a smarter mind than athleticism. Like, he was smarter in all of his athleticism that he had in college and the pros. Ken Dorsey. He's not that.
Off the charts.
He's not bad.
He was a quarterback in Cleveland.
Yeah. Oh, with him. Oh, I actually think the offense will be humming next year. And if they're not, Myles Garrett's going to take off a football helmet and smack somebody.
Bring some publicity right there. There it is.
All right, last piece of news here. I just had to put this in here because it was hilarious. But Max Strus hitting that half-court shot to beat the Mavs at the buzzer was absolutely ridiculous. And
Yes.
I just love the fact that it was a former Miami Heat player that decided to get the job done. And he's just propelling the Cavs to the promised land.
But who scored the point before him? Who scored the bucket before him?
On the Mavs?
Yes.
I don't remember his name.
He's number 25.
Right.
He's number 25. But he was still flexing.
Yes.
As the shot went up. That's a bad look.
You know what's crazy though about that whole thing is what Strus did that whole fourth quarter.
Yes.
He knocked down 3 back-to-back 3-pointers to put him in that situation. And then he hits that 61-foot shot, which is the second longest game-winning shot in NBA history.
Insane. Oh my God, it was insane.
He hit 3 threes in like a minute.
Of number 25 of Dallas.
Yeah.
Still flexing. First of all, man, work on your shoulders. Okay, if you're gonna flex,
Get your delts.
you need more delt. You need more. You need all that. But he was still flexing as the shot went in, and then there's another frame where you see him going, like maybe turn around. Play a little bit of defense.
You know what that reminds you of is Sherman from Seattle. You know, he was all happy and stuff. And then for some reason they decided not to run the ball on the 2-yard line ever and threw that short pass, and then he's crying.
Thank you.
I'm like, oh,
I don't know why you had to hit me like that, man. I mean, you guys have had like 27 starting quarterbacks since 2000.
I know, Jesse, hey. But that is the worst thing that Pete Carroll ever did in his career.
Oh my God, we're still talking about it. It's hurtful. Oh, my heart going for this.
Trust me, I was hurt. My money went away because of that. I was mad as hell.
Phelan, as a Patriots fan, was not hurt though. He was very happy that happened.
I had the opposite reaction.
And as many times as he's tattooed me, there's been many times he was tattooing me, and I was just like, man, I just want to take this right hand and just fucking hit you in the head. But I love that man like a brother, so I can't do it. But God, that was hurtful. I'm glad you brought that up. My divorce isn't enough. We gotta go through. This too. We gotta relive it.
You know why I'm not mad that Max did that? Because it was against Dallas. And I remember those years when they had
Dallas.
yeah, they beat the Heat. Yeah, after all those years, anytime Max wants to do that, be my guess.
I mean, that was a Dirk Nowitzki, a white man that once did that thing.
Right.
It was like, yo.
Right?
Yeah, y'all did lose to a 39-year-old Jason Kidd, 38-year-old Terry.
Jason Terry.
Sean Marion.
I don't even know how.
Oh, Dirk Nowitzki's how that dude just
Good.
He said this was the end for me.
By then, though, man, Dirk was old as shit.
That was a squad. That was an old squad.
Yeah,
Right.
that was like the last of everything for him. They put everything they had in that last run.
Right.
Yeah, I
Tyson
think most
Chandler.
of them are dead. Yeah, I think they all died.
They all retired right after that. We're done.
All right. That will do it for the first half of this week's show. Big Mike, much appreciated for you taking the time out to join us here tonight.
Hey, listen, anytime, man. It was a blast. I appreciate you guys having me on.
And you gotta come back out, man. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'll definitely anytime. Just let me know, and I'll bring you guys on my show.
Yes.
Probably cheap seats if you guys are open on a Saturday from 4 to 6. Bring you guys out.
4 to 6. Good.
All right. We'll set something up because that'll be the show to bring you guys on.
We need more Browns fans. Fuck these Dolphins fans.
You're going to say Chiefs fans, but no, me. What did I do this year?
All right, folks. We were going to go to break, and we'll see you in about 10 minutes. Be sure to follow the Man Cave on TikTok down in the description below.
Cave. Do it.
Hey. Yeah. Hey. On my way to the boat like I ain't just had on the coat when I landed. Out branded. Perched at the edge of the branches. They don't wanna talk mansions. Mine look like a campus. And I'm all about my brothers like the niggas I'm sampling. I'll leave you red shirted like the twins from Kansas. Really living my dreams I used to have in my aunt's crib.
Philip Rivers had a couple instances where he nearly reached the top of the mountain. That was primarily in the mid-2000s when he had LaDainian Tomlinson alongside him. When he did get to the AFC Championship game against New England, there were too many injuries to key players to pull off the upset, which is really unfortunate for them because the Pats played a bad game. But once the early 2010s came around, the franchise essentially had to rebuild around Rivers. They were able to do that quickly, but by then, Peyton Manning was in their division, so that one time the Chargers did make the playoffs in that window, they were a wild card team. But even after Manning retired, Rivers was pretty old, constantly playing through injuries and very turnover prone. Then you add in the team moving to LA, and that was just the cherry on top. It makes you realize just how many things need to go right in order to win a Super Bowl. In my mind, Phillip Rivers will go down as one of those all-time greats who never won a championship, in the same space as Dan Marino.
Him with that roster, Justin Herbert, 3 years. I'm not saying they're going to win it, but in 3 years, they'll be in the Super Bowl.
I agree with that timeline because they have to get a lot of things straightened out.
I just wonder if the organization itself can get out of the way and let this man do his thing. That's going to be important and vital for them. But I do see them in the Super Bowl or getting pretty far.
I think it's going to be about a 36-14 game. Tampa didn't play good last week.
I'm going to say it's probably going to be like a 32, 17, 18 game.
It's going to be close. Depends. It's not going to rain anymore. So I'm going to go with we're going to win by 10.
I'll be honest. I think a lot of Eagles fans are nervous right now. I think it's going to be a close game. This is the Julio Jones night. This is the night where we find out what Julio Jones has left in the tank.
You're basically saying Devontae Smith ain't shit.
You know who's going to score tonight? Turn around.
That's
who's going to score. Yeah.
I think it's going to be 21-24 Bucks. Jalen doesn't have A.J. Brown. He's going to throw the ball to Devontae, but
Bucks going to win it 27-23. Baker's going to drive it last minute, score a touchdown, take the lead, win the game.
All right, so he still thinks Baker plays at Oklahoma. Go ahead.
24-21 Birds, and I only think we win by 3 because AJ's out, Devontae's hurt, Jalen's hurt. We run the football, we win by 3. We go destroy the Lions when AJ comes back.
28-17, Eagles. All
Did
day.
you know AFR is also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts? Click the first link in the description below to listen to the most recent episode of the show.
He won the chip.
Right. You want to see what his trophy
He whooped my ass.
look at the unwrapped. Look at this bad boy.
That's tight.
Like we got some
Very nice. A couple of bad drafts, but you know, the waiver wire.
Yeah, man.
You were
He was
clutch.
on it. Yeah.
Like thank Taylor for being friends without him. Let's go for the repeat.
we do a sports podcast. Okay? And I can't help but notice that somebody is wearing an inside-out neck jersey.
You know what? It's just a coincidence.
Explain what is happening right now.
Forecast was for rain. I didn't want the rain to fall on the outside.
That's all it is?
Because I love Dak. He's the best quarterback in the league. Big Mike's the best coach ever. Dallas's D is awesome. Yesterday was just unlucky. We'd won the coin toss. It was a Cowboys win. It was all about the coin toss.
Let's talk defense. You're wearing the Cardinals hat. You don't get a say. Dan Quinn. I don't want him as my coach.
Oh, he's gonna be though.
I don't want him to be.
I heard a stat today. Green Bay has won more playoff games at AT&T Stadium than Dallas. Do you know if that's true?
It probably is.
I heard.
So you still love that?
No. Mike's gotta go. Big Mike's gotta go. Dan Quinn's gotta go. Jerry's gotta rip this shit up.
Who do you want to replace Dak then?
Don't say Russell Wilson.
I was gonna just ask you, would you trade Russell Wilson straight up for Dak?
No!
I wouldn't either now.
You went Browns to Bills?
No, I was a Buffalo fan and a Cleveland fan.
No.
They're in different leagues when I
So, well, they were all in the AFC. Oh, okay. Fuck the Bucks! Awesome! Go fucking Eagles! Fuck you!
Hold on, ramparts we watch of the free. We celebrate Dr. Who's legacy.
I hate you so much. Alright, kill with the sniper. There is so much man-on-man happening right now.
Bird. You feeling good, man?
I ain't worried, man. I'm gonna tell him the truth.
We not worried. We go score in this drive.
Okay.
Baker Mayfield for game
His name is Baker Mayfield. Oh, the nigga got AIDS.
Who are your top 5 teams in the NBA right now? East and West all combined. Let's go with my number 1. I've got Boston as the best team in the NBA. Hands down, they are the most complete team. Let's go Celtics. Number 2, got the Denver Nuggets. They are still the reigning champs. They're playing some great basketball this year. They're the second hardest team to knock off right now. They know what they're doing. Number 3, I've got the OKC Thunder. They have who I believe is the MVP right now in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's been killing it. The whole team, young, killing it right now. OKC is a really tough out. Number 4, I've got the Minnesota Timberwolves. They're huge between Cat and Gobert. Ant-Man's been ridiculous this year. The Timberwolves are a fantastic team right now. Number 5, I actually have the Cleveland Cavaliers. They're playing some outstanding basketball. I was debating between them and the Clippers at the 5 spot, but the Cavs beat the Clippers earlier this year, so by default, I want to put Cleveland at 5, and I have to put the Clippers at 6. Who is your 5? Let us know down in the comments below.
I flew out to Vegas on the 3rd, so I was there for basically 2 weeks, so I really got to see the city transform and get ready for the game.
Wow.
And that should be illegal being in Vegas for that long. It was just, I was so happy to come home. It was a great time, but that was too long, too many days.
Yeah.
But no, it was so special. It really didn't hit me until I got in there, but the stadium was awesome. I've never been to Allegiant, so it was cool to see how they got ready for the Super Bowl.
There is a disrespect from players to fans because you have one opportunity to give the fans a show and you want to hot dog it, just bland it out and just be ridiculous and do the bare minimum. That's such a slap in the face. The people that buy the packages to watch the NBA game, the people that keep cable when they have no other reason to keep cable other than sports, to the people that actually go to the games, you're being so disrespectful to the fan just because you're not making money. Even though you have an enterprise in which to make money because of the fandom of the people that support the fucking teams you play for.
Remember to follow the show on TikTok and Instagram at FA Sports. Now back to your favorite show on the internet with your hosts, Jaylon, Malon, Nestor, and G Money.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the show, folks. Second half of your favorite show on the internet. G Money, what's going on?
England, always a pleasure to be here on a Wednesday night. Yeah, not much, just kind of living up here in the PNW with 40-mile-an-hour winds and rain going fucking sideways. But, other than that, it's all good.
Man.
Sounds like Florida at times.
Yeah, you guys are missing out not living up in Washington.
Yeah.
Do we want to take our second half cheers?
Yes, we do.
For a successful second half.
Beautiful. Nestor. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know why you're drinking water, Jim, and we don't need to get into that.
Different show.
Different show for different strokes.
Catch us later.
I don't even know what that means, but I want to get into it.
Let's get into some community comments for this episode. So took a snippet of Malin calling the All-Star Weekend disrespectful, or at least the players' performance disrespectful. And
Oh Lord.
TikTok, shockingly, did not agree.
It didn't.
Bipolar.
What the fuck? What do they say? These dumbass.
16-year-olds.
All right, so Stedman Bailey said this game is not supposed to be competitive or serious. It's supposed to be fun for the players. Dumbass.
No. Okay.
His words, not mine.
First of all, okay, it is dumbass stuff. Because you talk to any player back in the 90s and the 80s, even the 70s, it was competitive. It was competitive. In fact, I will not hold on. No, that pisses me off. Hold
Can
on a
I
second.
someone reply to him? Can I include this response?
What do they say?
He says, exactly. It really don't matter to their standings or anything like that. Plus, they just want to have fun and chill with people they most likely will never be able to play against in their career. Plus, the first 200-point game happened in this type of game.
Yeah, which isn't exciting, you dumbass. And first of all, why do they all want to play with each other with all these super teams? Now, let's go ahead and talk about it's always been about the players. Okay? I'll talk about this for a second, Jalen. Sorry, they brought it up. All-star fouls in games. 1993, there were 62 fouls in the All-Star game. In 2003, there were 37. 2013, there were 24. In 2023, there were 7. This year, there were 3. Why? Because we're playing lame duck fucking basketball. It's like what ended up eliminating the Pro Bowl for the NFL. It's not fun to watch. You're not watching basketball. You're watching a scrimmage. You're watching people in warm-ups. Like how is that fun? Like shut up. These dumbass people. Who else wants to
The
say something?
West Virginia fan.
Which that was
Yeah,
Stedman Bailey, who's a West Virginia fan.
Yeah.
Doug Kraft says they aren't being disrespectful. You and all the other so-called fans are by making videos and other social media posts like this.
Oh, I mean, I don't understand how they can look at the product on the court and say that I'm the one being disrespectful. I'm like, help me. Everyone rails on the NFL Pro Bowl, and they got rid of it for the same fucking reason. Fuck that guy. I hope he stubs his toe every time he gets up in the middle of the night to piss because he has a small bladder and a little dick. I hope he stubs his toe on a door jamb or something. Who else?
Last one was on Instagram, and they just said, and if a player gets injured,
Yeah,
That's all he has?
that
How
was
many times has a player been injured in the All-Star game?
right. I can't recall that ever happening, but
Can you name one player? G Money, can you name one? Because G Money's older than all of us. I apologize. Can you name one player, an iconic player in the NBA that's been hurt in the All-Star game?
No. I mean, maybe the pre-All-Star game party.
Yeah.
You know.
Maybe Dennis Rodman hurt himself.
Yeah, but no. I mean, there aren't serious hard fouls, but they still played the game, and they played defense. But you
Nobody
did.
can say it was a fun game to watch.
it was not.
It wasn't basketball. And like I said, 62 fouls in 1993 and 3 fouls in this last All-Star game, 59 less fouls. That means that nobody's playing defense.
Right.
I mean, and defense is half of the fucking game when it comes to any sport. I don't know. These people. Fucking stupid.
Let's move on to the
I
next.
hope they drink antifreeze. What are we doing?
Gotta
hope they don't have
TikTok.
kids.
Let's
It's a
move on
serious
to
thing. They vote.
Oh shit.
next
That's even
video,
worse.
which is the people's top 5 NBA teams right now.
What are the people?
Nestor said number 5 Heat, number 4 Heat, number 3 Heat, number 2 Heat, and number 1 Heat.
There's another
Esther,
Heat fan in the comments. That's
I
what's
want
funny.
you to I want you to understand, Esther, how much I love you, but also how much I want you to die right now. Yeah.
And then I asked him,
Gina loves the next guy.
who's number 6? And he said, probably, if I had to really think, Detroit Pistons.
He's not thinking too hard.
He's chugging that Flint water.
He is. That's the type of man that is autistic and cooking grilled cheeses in the middle of the night and hiding it from his parents. Like shit, you know. That's his cousin right there. That's who that is. He's hiding grilled cheese sandwiches.
Nate says, number 1 Pistons, 30 everybody else.
Oh, you know what? You want to know what he sounds like? He sounds like the same girl on the Tom Segura comedy special that had a dream of sucking the dick on everybody in the Wu-Tang Clan and actually did it. Kind of sounds like he wants the same type of job with the Indiana Pacers. That's what he wants.
Cal
Lava
L5 says, he's like the only person that actually gave a legit answer.
you
Number
go.
5 Thunder, 4 Clippers, 3 Timberwolves, 2 Nuggets, number 1 Celtics.
God.
Thank you, Cal.
Thank you, sir.
Alex says,
I believe in America.
well, lose
And
that
then there's
faith
this
right
comment.
here. Alex says, don't matter. Miami will beat Boston. I don't care.
Yeah, I no longer believe in America.
And then last but not
That's
least,
that's gotta be one of Nestor's fake accounts.
Nah, it's peanut butter jelly 69.
Jirai Browse says, LOL, Boston will choke, can barely cover other than those games against an injured Memphis team and the Pacers.
I'm just like,
That was my other account.
I know that I have said this before, but there are times, Jalen, where I wonder, why do we elect the people we elect as president, senators, congressmen, whatever? And then I read polls like this, and I'm like, I think that 70% of America is mentally retarded. Not handicapped. You guys are just retarded. You're fucking stupid. You guys. I'm surprised that you guys can get driver's license. You graduated high school. You probably need the handicap placard, even though you don't know how to get it because you're too fucking stupid. You're operating moving vehicles. It's starting to make sense why we elect the politicians that we elect with the things that people say and just put on social media. It's too much, man.
We have a couple more on Instagram I almost forgot about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lucas says, OKC still needs like 2 years before they are playoff contenders. I don't think they have a single playoff game of experience on that whole roster. Lucas, I believe that is correct. Someone else says number 5 Clippers or Denver, 4 Timberwolves, 3 OKC, 2 Boston, number 1 Cleveland.
Wait a minute.
Ooh, Cleveland, huh?
Yeah, that person jerks off to LeBron James.
I mean,
it was 10 hours ago, so he just watched him Max half-court shot.
He probably puts up a live cam and jerks off to the background of LeBron James, but the motto, we are all witnesses, and makes us all witness it. That's what that Cavs fan probably does. That's disgusting. Austin number 2.
I could see Cleveland as number 2 in the East.
Well, they are
Um,
in
No one's
the
exactly what
East.
they are.
but I mean, I could see them finishing as number 2 in the East. But and maybe even number 4 in the top 5. But right now, it is Boston. I mean, that's just obvious. I mean, even Helen Keller could see that, and she's fucking deaf, dumb, and blind, and dead.
Goddamn right she is. Oh shit, she
I
was
didn't
my
know she
kid.
was
I've been
also.
for all kinds of ways. I will say this: this guy, he literally is just probably has a shrine to LeBron James, and is just doing inappropriate things that LeBron James never wished that his image would produce.
Just hoping that he comes back to Cleveland.
Yeah, comes back. That's a good take. That's a good take.
Well, he needs to get in the long line of LeBron sexuals.
Oh, we don't gotta go in a long line, Jesus.
It's an extended line.
Oh, that's even worse.
Okay, that's the community comments. If you want to follow us on Instagram or
I mean,
TikTok,
I love that we give the community an opportunity to say some stupid shit.
every week, every day, really.
Every
It's
week.
right above us, folks. Follow us
I
and
love
weigh
you
in.
guys. Love you guys. Just take less acid before you comment. Oh,
Every time Malin has a take, you just get so sad.
I'm
His list.
it's the dumbest goddamn responses that ever happened. Like,
First
I
person
don't
called
know.
him a dumbass, and everybody just hopped on it.
That prohibition suck. You know what?
Like we're talking about the All-Star game, and there's people actually defending the All-Star game performance. And I'm like, okay, take your tongue out of your mom's cotton swab and, actually watch some basketball and figure out life and then comment on something. Like, shut up.
I
What do we
mean, yeah, the All Star Game is a joke. The only two compelling parts of the All Star Game was Stephanie Izuku. I'm going to murder her last name. Izuku. I don't know. Anyway, the 3-pointer with those and
Right.
the celebrity game, that the night before when they introduced the neon court. That was
LED court.
the LED court. Yeah, I mean that those were the two most compelling things of the All Star weekend. I mean the game itself. I mean you score over 200 points, one team. What was it? The over under for that game was 365 and a half, and it definitely went over. I mean,
always does.
Basketball game.
Yeah, it's not. I mean,
I'm saying.
That's a game where you don't play defense. You let people score, and it's like, okay, who can score the most points? I mean, there shouldn't even be an MVP of the game, really, because
the last time that the All-Star game was competitive. I'm sorry, Jalen. I gotta say it. I'm sorry. We're going to move on. I know the look on your face, but back in the '90s, okay, the late '90s. I'm gonna say it, the last time you're ultra competitive, but you could still have fun. Was Michael Jordan versus Kobe Bryant in the late '90s when Kobe was a rookie or his second year, and you had Michael Jordan in there at '98. Like, you can still be competitive and have fun in a basketball game. Like, it doesn't just need to be a shoot around. Like, you can see the best of the best play at their best, which is what you used to see at the All-Star game. But you don't see that now. You got a bunch of dick grabbing people that just want to do some dumbass stuff. And we're going to go ahead and score like damn near 400 points. Whatever. Miss me with that. That's not. It's just like the NFL Pro Bowl. Like, no one wants to see it. Anyone that's defending it, like, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, we will move on to the second best segment on the show outside of community comments, which is the ride or die in 5, where we give you the best.
We all did damn good last week.
Yes, the best sports bets to make this coming week. And gentlemen, I'm going to proclaim it now. We broke the curse that was plaguing this show for the last like 9 months or whatever. Because we all went 4-1. Had a great showing. Even the
if it weren't for that Milwaukee Minnesota game, we were open 5-0.
Right.
Yeah.
Milwaukee suddenly learned how to play basketball. But hey, I'll take the 4-1. Yeah. So as things currently stand, let me bring this up on the screen here. Yeah. So I am 259 wins, 202 losses, plus 57. Malin is 236 wins, 182 losses, plus 54. G Money is 163 wins, 136 losses, plus 27. And Nestor is 138 wins, 113 losses. He is plus 25. So that is where we all stand as of right now. The first game of this week, we have the Warriors at the Knicks. This is tomorrow night at 7:30. G Money, we will start with you.
I like Golden State. Pretty sure that 3/5 of the Knicks' starting rotation is injured and won't be back until minimum March 9th and maybe a little later than that. And I have no clue who their backups are.
Yeah, I'm going to agree for the same reason. New York is in a rough spot right now. They're just very beat up. The Warriors are kind of trending up, but people don't get your hopes up. If you want to buy into Nestor's list, you can. But it's just a temporary vacuum thing right now. The Knicks will get back to where they should be, and the Warriors will get back to where they should be. So tomorrow night, though, I'm saying Warriors. Go ahead, Nestor.
Story will repeat itself, so the Warriors will be trending up. Give me Golden State.
Malin.
Yeah, I'm taking Golden State. Just like Gary said, or G Money. I apologize. Yeah, like most of their starting lineup is hurt. The Golden State is better. A bunch of Knicks backups. I'm going to take Golden State on this one.
All right. Friday, we've got the Mavs coming to Boston. There's a right answer here and there's a wrong answer here. The Boston Celtics have not lost a home game in like an entire calendar year, a regular season home game an entire year. So I'm going to take the Boston Celtics.
I'm taking Boston.
Same.
Boston.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. There you go. Nice.
8 o'clock. We have the Kings going to Minnesota. It's 8 o'clock on Friday. Nestor, what do you want here?
Well, Minnesota's at home. They're great away. They're even better at home. Great defense, like I said before. So give me Minnesota.
Malin?
Yeah, I'm taking Minnesota on this one. Sacktown has not been able to necessarily replicate what they did last year. They're hotter. They're like, hotter ice. So Minnesota's been very consistent. AT, love it. So I'm going to take Minnesota on this one.
G Money.
I'm actually going to go with Sacramento.
Okay.
I'm still not sold on Minnesota, especially after what they did with Milwaukee. So yeah. Give me Sacktown. Sacktown for the win.
I am going to go with Minnesota. Agree with the rest of my compadres here. I think the Bucks showing was just a bit of an anomaly. Uh, the Kings on the road, well, the Kings just against good teams this year. They just have not been all that great. So I think the Timberwolves will hold their home court just fine against the Kings. Just want to add that is the first difference we've had. So yeah. 9:30 Sunday night. We've got the Thunder at the Suns, and I think Malin, is it your turn to go first?
Taking Phoenix. I don't have any other reason other than I hope that OKC loses every game they ever play. Got nothing else. If the team playing were to crash, I'd cry a little bit, but I'd still smile.
Consistent. G Money.
Oh.
I go with OKC.
You would.
I'm going to second that. I'm also going with the Thunder. They will go to Phoenix and handle their business. Nestor.
Same for me. Yeah, they're gonna handle
This is
business.
how I go 5-0.
All right, last one. G Money, we're back to you Monday at 8:00. We've got the Clippers at the Bucks. Who do you like?
I'm gonna go with Milwaukee this time. I just keep waiting for the wheels to fall off of the Clippers. I do. I wait to see Harden have a really bad game. Either Kawhi or Paul George or both go down with injuries. I just don't see them sustaining what they're doing. And as much as I hate to say it, Doc Rivers does have Milwaukee playing a little better defense than they were prior to him coming over. So yeah, maybe he gets them to win a few more games. They get in the playoffs and get their asses kicked.
There you go.
I'm going to take the Clippers here. This one is on Monday, so I'm kind of assuming by then Paul George will be back in the lineup. And right now they're just a better team than the Bucks. So Doc Rivers, Schmock Rivers, give me the Clippers. Go ahead, Nestor.
I have to agree with G Money here. Give me the Bucks just because I don't trust the Clippers enough. So yeah, Milwaukee.
And Malin.
All right, this has nothing to do with what I think is actually going to happen in the game. So bettors beware. I just feel like I have an opportunity to make up a game on Jalen. So I'm taking Milwaukee because I gotta have a comeback, people. I gotta have a comeback, and need to catch that #1 spot. So taking Milwaukee on this. Yeah, I know I have that fucking smirk.
If the Bucks, well, I should say the
Bad
Bucks, if
year.
the Clippers don't get their
Bad
shit
year.
straight, or the Thunder, either one of those, because we just flipped. So
Well, wait,
Aren't the Clippers playing back to back? I mean, they play Minnesota and then they fly to Milwaukee and play Milwaukee the next night. So I don't know. I mean,
I'm just saying, I need to make up some ground here, people.
Durant's old. You know, can he do it? You know,
Ever since I've been on the show, I've been #1. I don't like being #2.
to recap, Thursday we're all taking the Warriors against the Knicks. Friday we're all taking the Celtics against the Mavs. Also Friday, G Money is taking the Kings. The rest of us are taking the T Wolves. Sunday, Mainland is taking the Suns. The rest of us are taking the Thunder. And then Monday, I am taking the Clippers. The rest of you guys are taking the Bucks. Does that all sound accurate?
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Y'all are good. I'm about to make up 2 points. About to get closer.
Or fall two back and be further back.
There we go.
I'm gonna get closer.
All right, folks, that will do it for episode 177. Again, shout out to Big Mike for joining us earlier. Shout out to G Money for taking the time out of his night to join us for the second half. Anything else you guys want to mention before we get out of here?
I would just like to mention I think that the Clippers jerseys are terrible this year, and I'm glad they're going to what they are to this next year. And I hope the Lakers beat the Clippers tonight, but they're down 38-47. That sucks.
There they are. But it's still early, so
I just don't like the fact that the Clippers are claiming Los Angeles on their jerseys. Is the only thing. You've never won a title. Like, you're sitting there with the Rams. You're sitting there with the Dodgers. You're sitting there with the Lakers. You've never won anything. Shut up.
Well,
So,
speaking it into existence with their new stadium next year, right?
next year. And, hey, that jersey in identity, like, it looks good.
Yes.
It's clean. Have you guys seen it?
Yeah.
Have all you guys seen it? It looks really clean. I'm glad they're going for that. So,
Well, all right, folks. Again, be sure to follow us on social media right above us, and subscribe if you haven't already to the YouTube channel. So we'll see you all next week, and until then,
78.
peace out.
Peace.